He's on this call doing what a lot of people don't do, and that's show up for themselves. You're going to be introduced to some products that are so exceptional. I hope you brought your duct tape to keep your socks on, because it is that incredible. Having been in this arena for nearly 5 decades, I have never seen the equal of what we're going to be introduced to. If you're brand new on this call, especially, we want to welcome you. And with that, I would like to introduce who's going to present these product overviews for us, for all of us. And that's our hostess tonight, Beth Baska. Now, I have to tell you how I met Beth for the first time. She and I were part of a multi-billion-dollar company, multi-million-dollar, I'll back that up. They did make $1 billion, but not multi yet. And she had invited me to the beautiful state where she lives, and it's green and wonderful. And I drove up there and I was looking for her home, and I was kind of in the neighborhood, and I saw this jogger streak by me. And I looked down at my speedometer and it was 35 miles an hour. And then suddenly this jogger just took a tumble and kind of ended up on somebody's lawn on all fours. And I looked over and I noticed it was Beth. It was her. I jumped out of the car, ran over, and I says, Beth, what in the world happened? And she simply said, well, have you ever blown a tennis shoe at 35 miles an hour? Anyway, she is a force to be reckoned with. And you will see that in the next few minutes. And I am so grateful that she's here. I do want to give her at least the true backing that she has. She is a founding platinum member of Zalevo. That's pretty significant, everybody. It takes a bit of doing, as those who have gotten to that point know. 16 years of work in the preventive health care as an entrepreneur. 38 years veteran of sales and sales management, certified holistic nutritionist, certified life coach, wife of a wonderful husband for 39 years and mother of 2 beautiful children. And she asked me, so that she can remain humble, to make it short. So I won't read 2 more pages, but Beth, take it over.
Thank you so much, Jim. I so appreciate you and your kind invitation to have me join you in Zalevo, and I just am incredibly grateful for who you are and how you show up in the world, because you are definitely the ultimate change maker for good. So I'm thrilled and honored to have a chance to partner with you and many of you on this line. So we're going to get underway here, and this is me, and you've already heard about me, so we're going to skip right over that because you heard. The thing that I love so much about this word Zalevo, and often when I'm sharing it with people, they're like, what? Like, can you repeat that, please? Because I don't quite get it. Well, Zalevo is extraordinary because it is 2 Latin words, and it's alevo and zenith, as many of you might know. And then it means the time of greatest power and success, to rise up and uplift and enhance and elevate people to the highest potential. And Zalevo does that in 3 critical ways and does it together. It performs in optimal health, personal growth and development, and then financial success. And we have an opportunity to hear about all 3 of those pillars tonight. And the first of those is optimal health. And I absolutely love this philosophy because it just resonates so well and so easily with what I do as a holistic nutritionist, and the ability to really help people appreciate that we have one life, one body. And we are driven, Zalevo as a company, to seek out the latest advancements in nutraceutical science and nutrition. And I love that because science is advancing so rapidly that if we allow ourselves to just kind of be resting on our laurels, science is going to pass us by. And so this company is incredibly diligent about making sure that with everything we're doing, we remain on the cutting edge All right, so Zalevo Labs has over 100 years of combined experience. Our team consists of PhDs, MDs, DOs, herbalists, thank you very much, herbalists and lab technicians. We have a huge team of people that work collaboratively together to ensure that we have the very best, most cutting edge formulations available. All right, so not sure why, there we go. All right, sourcing is incredibly important. And it was one of the many things that I was really wanting to focus in on and make sure that this company was continuing to practice the very best in sourcing out there. And they do. Everything from the highest quality ingredients from all over the world. It's Prop 65 compliant. We take care of heavy metals and allergen verifications. We work really hard on making sure that we have the very best ingredients available to make it the very best formulations available. And then we do 5 stages of testing, which ensure safety, purity, potency, and consistency. In every little stick of Zalevo, we have all of the ingredients in the body over a long period of time. It's gluten-free, it's soy-free, it's vegan and vegetarian, dairy-free, non-GMO, and all of these things are so critically important and yet so difficult to be able to find with ease, particularly in our food supply today. This is our extraordinary line of products. And if you've ever wondered, like, they look color-coded, right? Well, they are color-coded for a reason. Red is our sports and nutrition line, sports and fitness line. The black are everything that's foundational. So it's really important to have a rock solid foundation when it comes to our nutrition, and everything in black makes sure that that's the case. And those 2 white formulations are our collagen and our MindSync, and they're very targeted in terms of having deliberate intention about what they're wanting to accomplish in our body. So one of the other things that's so critical to people who really care about whether nutrition is actually able to be absorbed and utilized in the body is what we have access to, and it's called liposome technology. And Jim is going to talk a little bit about the system of deliveries when we go in more depth relative to our amazing Ultra 30 shake, as well as our other formulations. But it's the ability to wrap nutrients in phospholipids, and the ability for that to be our delivery system so that our body gets the best possible chance to absorb and utilize all of the nutrients that we are flooding with our bodies, including enzymes, enzyme 13 and enzyme 19, because they're so incredibly important when it comes to nutrient uptake. So you've got a delivery system, and then you have the ability to have the enzymes do what they're designed to do to help not only with absorption, but to help with all of the nutrients being available throughout our bodies. Then you add on top of that, it's like a trifecta every time you think about the way they're designed, because the ability to know that even though right now in our food supply, particularly in the US, minerals are incredibly difficult to get a hold of because we don't have any microorganisms available in our soils any longer because we've sterilized them. So minerals are very difficult to get without any microorganisms because there's nothing to be able to break it apart. And now we have 4 different types of minerals to be able to add into these incredible formulations. So we're taking care of minerals and vitamins because you need minerals in order to absorb vitamins. And some people don't even know that. But in our case, it's so essentially important.
I just don't
because we
want
need
it to
to have
show
it all.
that I may not
Hey,
have
Kathy
audio,
Horn.
then I'm gonna get in trouble.
Kathy Horn, I love you. Mute your line.
See?
Mwah. Thank you.
Kathy Horn, I love you.
Mute your line, girl. All right, so we're gonna move on. If we can here, come on. For some reason, we're not able to move on. There we go. All right, so I love the story about our 5 health tracks. So our corporation came together and they decided and discussed at some length, what are the 5 things that are going on in our society right now that a company like ours could really go to town to address? And this is what they came up with: weight loss, mood balance, energy, sports and fitness, and vitality and wellness. And we are going to go in depth about the Ultra 30 shake in just a little bit, but this is it. It's so incredible. It's full spectrum. It literally is 10 years above its time, and it is absorbed throughout the body. It's an extraordinary full meal replacement that enables everyone to at least have 1 meal a day, every breakfast to start the day, and know that everything else they're going to consume after that is going to be bonus. This is also an incredibly important formula, and there's 2 things that you'll see in all of the collections that appear: our daily biome sync and our Ultra 30 shake. 2 things that's very difficult to do without, because over 90% of disease begins in the gut. So we've got to make sure that we're taking really good care of our digestive tract for gut health. This has 10 powerful, amazing probiotics in it. This one is also really incredible. It's the trim, and it focuses particularly on visceral fat, which is very difficult for our bodies to get rid of once it's available to us. And it's really important that we don't have. So great ways to help our digestive systems be very healthy and perform the way they're designed to perform. This is another product that I just absolutely love, is Fortitude 85, and it is our super stress buster, because none of us ever have any of that in our lives, right? And it has literally 85 ingredients in it, and that's why they call it Fortitude 85. At this point, I'm going to welcome on one of our amazing brand partners and someone that I just really, really adore. His name is Tracy Ridout. And Tracy's going to tell you a story. So Tracy, go ahead and unmute your line if you haven't had a chance to undo that yet. And he's going to share with you what happened to him in a minute. And he is going to share the combination of the products that he used and the kinds of results that he experienced. So Tracy, take it away.
Thank you, Beth. I have to let everybody know my first introduction to Beth was a problem-solving issue, and it wasn't in regards to being a part of Zalevo, but another company at one time that I had questions about. As you see in the pictures, the top left, I have 5 different autoimmune disorders, and one of them happens to be areata alopecia. And my wake up, in fact, that's my wake up call. And I went about 7, almost 8 months struggling, trying to figure out what was going on. Then by chance, Beth came into my life, and I've met some really incredible people, and I made a lifestyle change. And if you take a look at the bottom right, so I went about 8 months trying to figure out what was going on. And then for the next 2 months, I had started the Zalevo Mood Balance package program. That was a home run for me. And it's unbelievable what occurred in those 2 months. My testimony to my family, my friends, and to you tonight is what a complete turnaround, such a short period of time. My areata is my wake-up call if something's not going well inside, along with my other autoimmunes. I went years handling, thinking I was doing well, then all of a sudden, here about a year ago, things started popping up. And since I've been on my mood balance program, I'm really thriving with everything, energy, like clarity of my mind, thinking, problem solving. I'm ecstatic, and I'm just so thrilled to be able to be part of this group. It's really changing my life and the life within my family.
Thank you so much for sharing, Tracy. I really appreciate it. And when you think about what this means for someone, right, to be able to have, because his story isn't a weight loss story. His story is something that's going on the inside. And this is one of those additional ways that we can measure what's going on in the inside when we have really great nutrition available to us. So again, thank you so much for sharing today, Tracy. I really appreciate you. Okay, now we're going to jump into the burn days. And I love these days. And we're going to get a little bit further into the details behind burn mode in just a little bit here with Mr. Jim Rhoades. But the whole idea about fasting and being able to achieve autophagy between 20 and 24 hours, it's kind of a new thing to me, even though, you know, I've been in and around nutrition for a long time. And autophagy has been around for a long time as well. But it's been recently that it's really moved forward in terms of people's understanding and the value of what it brings to the body. By definition, what it means is that it's targeting dysfunctional cells and breaking them down and recycling the components that you want to keep and then shedding the ones that you don't. These are just a quick overview of the multitude of different things that this amazing product will assist our body in doing. Supporting the liver health, which is critically important, immune, as Tracy has definitely experienced, and then supports healthy blood sugar, which is so important, especially when we think about the soaring diabetes rates that occur in our country. Okay, so next is the fact that there are 123 different ingredients that are within this extraordinary one product. And every single one of these ingredients has a really vital role in what burn mode does for us. And I just want to focus very briefly on just one of these, which is amazing because there are 122 left after we focus on astaxanthin, astaxanthin. There are 10 clinical studies that support it, and it does all of the things pictured in this graph, which I love because you still have 122 other ingredients that are working in your body on your behalf. And again, our amazing Jim Rhoades is going to get more into that. We're going to switch our gear a bit to rebuild. Collagen is all the rage, right? A lot of companies have collagen products out there. It's just that ours happens to have a truly revolutionary form of collagen because it is designed to be the exact molecular structure of the receptors in our bodies. So if you think about that, what will that do to our ability to actually use it and absorb it? That's why it's called collagen 300, because the way it's designed is it means that we're going to have 300 Dalton, which is the form of measurement within our bodies and how collagen is absorbed. Part of the reason that this is possible is because of this extraordinary component, which is called Morocol tripeptide. It's a marine-based collagen. So again, you see their small molecule, 300 Dalton. And it's a clinical dose. You only need one a day, but it will make a profound difference in all of the things that are connected. And collagen is the most abundant form of protein in the body. It has a 15 times longer hang time. 15 times, like it'll be around 15 times longer than any other collagen on the market. And these are the things that it will do. It increases hydration, decreases roughness, decreases skin wrinkles. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. Visiting my family recently, it's very dry in Colorado. And man, I was taking my collagen and I didn't notice it. And others were complaining about it. So it's very helpful. These are 3 additional areas that we're not going to really dive too deep in yet this evening with the time that we have available, but just know that our company focuses on brain health, sports and fitness, as well as daily nutrition, in addition to the things that we've covered. Now I want to have Amy Holsell please unmute herself because she's going to give her testimonial as well. She is a silver leader with Solevo. She's a 40-year veteran in network marketing. She's an engineer by trade and passionate about everything to do with sewing. She's a wife of 38 years, a mother of 2 adult beautiful daughters, and has the biggest heart on the planet. So could you share with us your 1-minute story, Amy?
Sure. Thank you, Beth. Well, first, I don't know about all of you, but many of us have had a collection of clothes in our closet separated by size, going from the biggest size you might have been in to the smallest size you've been in. And I was one of those. And being overweight, I also hated to have pictures taken of myself, especially in like family pictures people are going to look at, 50 years down the road. I was tired of being tired and I hated shopping for clothes. And I know that a lot of you out there can probably relate to this. Well, in walked Zalevo, and Beth and I were searching for a company that we could really lock arms with, and we found Zalevo, and we became partners in Zalevo. I started in the weight loss collection and began my journey. The first thing that I noticed was the energy that I got. I just felt so much better. And then as I stayed on the product, I was losing weight and having more energy. And all of a sudden I realized everything was getting too big on me. So I did have to go shopping, but my body woke up. And one of the biggest benefits is because of the weight loss that I had, I was able to cut my high blood pressure medication in half. And I'm working on towards getting totally rid of it as I lose more weight. I have a ways to go yet, but I've got a great beginning, and it's probably the most positive beginning I've ever had. I've tried many weight loss programs and I've never have had the success I've had in this. Just looking for more positive input. Every time I step on that scale, it isn't as scary anymore because it goes down instead of up. And I actually love to go shopping now.
That's awesome, Amy. Well, and you were telling me that you actually got rid of all of the fat clothes, right?
I
Because
did.
you don't
I've
want to have a
decided
fallback anymore, right?
I
'Cause it's
have
like,
no fallback. I'm gotten rid of all my fat clothes. They have gone to Goodwill, and maybe somebody else who is going down in size can use them.
there you go. Well, I love that, right? Because it really speaks to the fact that we're not interested in this being a diet for anyone. We're interested in this being a lifestyle, something that someone can do and then have their weight permanently be more manageable and more conducive to good health. So, Amy, I love you. Thank you so much for sharing. You're awesome. All right, and here are a few more examples, and I think Craig is actually on the line tonight, so congratulations again to you, your health journey. And oh my goodness, this is just one of the most amazing couples that I just adore, and I don't know if they're on with us or not, but they're just fantastic, and look at the transformation. This is another fantastic example of what can happen. And oh my gosh, here's our amazing Jill Berth. And she's on a call with the Aussies tonight, so hopefully she'll join us at some point. But this is the thing. We are in the business of helping people transform their lives, period. And helping them really live long well in their bodies and making sure that they're providing all of their nutrients in order for them to thrive long term. And these are just a few of the many examples that we have. So the other pillar that we want to talk about is pillar number 2, which is core values. And there are a ton of these, 12 of them, in fact, and everyone within our company strives to live with each of them. The one who lives with the most with them is our CEO. Every single moment of every single day, this man leads with these core values in mind, and he teaches with them in mind. Every single month, we have the value of his sharing. Then the third one, as one of the ones that I enjoy a lot, and I know several people on the line do as well, is our ability to help people generate a substantial residual income. And this is a website that we would encourage you to investigate, and it's ZalevoCompPlan.com. 14 different ways we have the ability to pay people. There are 4 ways to partner with us as well. As a customer, as a brand partner with 3 people that you've shared with, and you can get up to $150 off of your products every month. So for many people, that means that your products are free. And then the other way to be a brand partner is to be affiliate. You share it with a bunch of customers, and then you get 25%, up to 25% commissions on every purchase, not just the first one, like a lot of other affiliate programs. And then the last way, and I consider it the best way, is to build an amazing team of people that are doing the same thing. And then you would be a brand partner in team building. So what we encourage people to do is fast track. Do this fast. Don't do it slowly. Why do it slow when you can do it fast? And take advantage of what the company is offering. And it's so generous. $1,000 to $1,500 in commissions in your first 3 months just by filling this chart out. And it's really straightforward. First 30 days, you have 3 customers, you have 3 brand partners who have 3 customers, and then you're an elite mentor. And then the next thing you do is you take that and you just simply do it 3 times. And then you're a platinum leader, and you just keep going from there. And that's really it in terms of what Solevo is all about and what it is that we love about being able to partner with this extraordinary company. And then you've also got a look at a few of our amazing testimonials. There's so many of them. We just highlighted a couple really important ones to my heart tonight. But I really want to encourage each and every one of you to stay with us, because what we're going to do next, and my gosh, I ended at 6:27. Wow, I can't believe it. We were able to cover a lot of information in a 30-minute time frame. So I hope that it was enjoyable for each of you. We're going to now kind of switch gears, and I'm going to have an opportunity to introduce one of my most amazing friends. We've known each other, as Jim shared. I don't remember the whole tennis shoe incident, but that's okay. No, I'm just kidding. What I remember about meeting Jim Rhoades for the first time was I went to my very first event with the former company that we were both a part of. And I had heard him on stage. And then I was really anxious to have a follow-on conversation with him. And I walked out into the hallway, and he was absolutely surrounded by this huge group of people. And he's a tall man. And so he was kind of not towering over them, but he was certainly taller than the vast majority. And everyone around him was taking notes. Because every time this man opens his mouth, I guarantee you there is value in what he's going to share. And that's what I remember most about him, is that not only is he incredibly kind and generous with his time, but he is also incredibly humble about the depths of his knowledge. He is a founding servant, 3-star leader with Solevo, 50 years of experience, former CEO of an international nutraceutical company. He's spoken at Harvard. He has spoken on a number of radio shows. He's a life coach, and he's a personal development trainer. And the thing that I love so much about Jim is his dedication to his family. The things that he is willing to do to help every single member of his family in every stage of their life. And his biggest joy, I would have to say, is spending time with his grandkids, in addition to, I'm sure, his amazing, lovely wife, Kathy. And they have 21 of them, which is a lot, and 6 great-grandchildren. But it's the dedication and it's the devotion that he has for not only his family, but for everyone in his life. And he truly has a servant heart. So, Jim, I'm so grateful to be able to be partnered with you and so many folks within this company. So thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Beth, thank you. Oh my goodness. Now everybody knows it's true that you did blow that tennis shoe at 35 miles an hour. Nobody cruises faster than you. So thank you. I have the opportunity to explain and help in training our brand partners. And our brand partners are different than our customers in that they've chosen to share these products with others. And that's what makes you a brand partner, basically. And we have just seen a host of products that are outstanding and beyond anything that I've seen in the 50 years I've worked in the nutritional arena. But also, there are a lot of people out there who need additional income. Right now, with what's happening with inflation, you go to the grocery store and your $50 used to bring out enough for a family, and now you can carry it out. In fact, you can have one of the grandkids carry it. And that's crazy. But part of what I'm going to ask is, how many of you on this line drive a car? Just kind of raise your hands there. Okay. So if you drive a car, how many of you could explain, because many of you may not know this, But when you get in a car and put a key in and turn that key, you start something that may be a little scary because you're going to mix gasoline and oxygen with an electric spark that is going to create an explosion. And there's a firewall between you, and it's only a foot or so from where that explosion is going. Hundreds and hundreds of times per minute. And so I'm just wondering, can most of you at least explain how the carburetor pulls the air, which has the oxygen in it, down through the carburetor and mixes it in exactly the right mix to pull down into the piston, or actually where the piston goes down and sucks it down in when the valves open, and then they close, and then that piston is pushed back up. And when it compresses it really tight, just at the right moment, it ignites that gas and air, and an explosion happens. It pushes the piston down, which is connected to a rod, which is connected to the crankshaft, which is connected to the gears, which are connected to the drive shaft, which is connected to the differential, which are connected to the axles, which are connected to the tires, which push you down the road. Now, how many of you could have at least explained a little bit about how that happens and why it's safe? Okay, how in the world then can we just get in and put the key in casually and not think anything of it except put our seatbelt on because somebody may be not driving well out there and just merrily go down the road, knowing or not knowing there's explosions under the hood a few inches from our feet? I'll tell you why you can do that. Because you trust the engineers who knew the gas-air ratio, who knew the compression, who knew exactly when to ignite it with a spark plug, who knew the gear ratio and the drive shaft ratio and the differential and the axle and the tires and the size that it needed to be. That's what they're good at. You've just been introduced to about a dozen different formulations. And at the beginning, we saw the Zalevo lab team. They are the engineers, and I call them human engineers, who have designed products that haven't even been heard of before by putting things in with the scientific breakthroughs that have never been done before. And one of those products is sitting right here in front of us right now. It's called the Burn Mode. It's a fasting aid. And I don't know if you've studied fasting and what it's capable of doing for you, but it can help you burn your fat as fuel, as when you're not eating anything with carbohydrates in it that turns to sugar, and the sugar then turns to the glucose, which fuels all your cells and muscles and everything that help you move and operate. When you run out of that glucose, you have stored glucose in the fat cell. And the fat cell can now convert that fat back into fuel. And that fuel is called ketones. And then you drop into what is known as ketosis. And that's what this product helps us do. Drop directly into ketosis, burning our own fat, which many of us, approximately 80%, according to the latest stats of this United States of America and probably Canada, are overweight. And 5 extra pounds on our body causes our heart to push blood to the moon and back every 6 months. So 10 pounds, do the math, it's every 3 months. What would 20 pounds do? Well, we know that cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer in the United States. What if we could take our name off of that list? What if we could drop that excess weight and give ourselves not just longer life, but an enjoyable longer life? Because we have the mental capacity and the ability to move and do things and keep up with grandkids. Well, that's kind of what it's helped us do. But let's go one step further, because this intermittent fasting, which has been around, as Beth mentioned, for a long, long time, often is not easy, especially for people like me with low blood sugar. I have to eat every 2 to 4 hours just because of the low blood sugar issue. And so fasting for me was very difficult. When this fasting aid came along, it blew me away that I can fuel with it every 4 hours and keep myself in full motion. I can even go out and do light exercise, maybe even a little heavier exercise. And that's not been possible for me before. So it's a major breakthrough for me. But then let's take it to the next level, not just a 24-hour fast or an 18-hour fast, which is great. But what if you could go a full 48 hours? Now, that last 24, you're dropping into something called autophagy. AUTOPHAGY, strange word. It means self-eating. What the heck does that mean? It means that your body goes into overdrive, finding dysfunctional, broken, and even dangerous cells, taking the dangerous ones out, reusing some of the usable parts of the good ones, and building brand new cells that function in every part of your body. By hour 24, you have human growth hormone being able to be in the bloodstream, being distributed to all the cells that need to be rebuilt, refurbished, and it is the fountain of youth when you drop into autophagy. Now, it was only a few years ago, science absolutely, in fact, they got the Nobel Prize, proved that autophagy works and is real. And we have a method with this burn mode to get us all into a way to take advantage of us. How many of us would like to do a little renewal of the brain cells? How many of us would like to really up our immune system? How many of us would like to drop some pounds while we're doing it as a side benefit? Because you're going to stay in ketosis while you're in autophagy. It is a double win. And when you can lower your blood sugar long enough, did you see the one that says supports healthy blood sugar? The big epidemic right now happens to be type 2 diabetes. It is just climbing like crazy, even in our youth. What if there was a way to become insulin sensitive and not have to need all the medications to help us maintain our life with high blood sugars? Well, your body is capable, and I need to put a disclaimer in here. We're not doctors. We don't cure, we don't heal, and we don't diagnose. We don't even sell medicine. That's for doctors to do. We sell food that helps the body do its job the right way, and we don't put band-aids on anything. We go to the cell itself and help it figure out how to become insulin sensitive once again, so that your doctor can say, I don't know how you just dropped that 40 pounds, but whatever you did, you just won the prize, because all the things that I'm having you take for your high blood sugar, I don't think you need them anymore. Wouldn't that be a pleasant surprise if we could make our doctors faint? I'm suggesting it can be done. So burn mode has all of these incredible nutrients in it. But one of the things that's most amazing, if you happen to know anything about antioxidants, antioxidants are your best friend. You want to eat a cup of wild blueberries every single day because it has an ORAC score, or oxygen reduction capability, of taking out oxygen-free radicals, which break things down way premature, and it's called rusting from inside out. You want to stop that rusting and hold on to those healthy cells before they break down. Well, antioxidants help you do that. So a cup of wild blueberries, 6,000 to 9,000 ORAC score, great score. Cup of wild blueberries daily would really bless everybody's life. 2 cups would be better. 10 cups would be phenomenal. But imagine every time you take 1 dose of burn mode while you're doing this 24 or 48 hour cleanse and detox, because that's what all is going on while you're in this particular avenue of not eating any carbohydrates, any fats, or any protein. You're eating the burn mode and lots of water. And what's happening inside is your cells can now start to become more insulin sensitive on their own. And I have watched this over and over. If we had no other products but burn mode, we could take this to the moon. This one thing for people with blood sugar issues is so big. You just have to go out and start talking. Do you know anybody who has a blood sugar issue? Would you like to know a little bit more about something that's coming along and that seems to be really blessing people's lives? And it's natural because it's not a mandate. It's not something you've got to do and just for the rest of your life. Now, doing intermittent fasting for the rest of your life is awesome because this makes it possible. And cleaning up and doing a cleanse once a month would be incredible. But this one product has an ORAC score, and I'll end on this one. If you can even imagine, of over 1 million ORAC score. Antioxidant count, over 2 million. So what are we doing? We're stopping that oxidative stress in its tracks before it rusts us out. So what does that give us? Longevity, especially if we can do it for the brain cells. What would that be worth? You see, you mentioned sugar. One of the other things about all of these products, they have a special, and this is science breakthrough, sugar in them that is sweet because it's pure cane sugar, awesome good sugar, but it has 0 calories and 0 carbs. Through a process that is most amazing, gives us all the good sweet without all of the side effects of it being harmful to us. And so those sort of things that exist right here in burn mode are beyond measure. Now looking at
we had the ability, right, to do some fasting in our former company.
yes.
And I think the thing that's really unique about this one, in terms of all of the people that have already experienced burn mode and provided feedback, is that they didn't have the same hunger pangs that they did with our previous company. And I think it's in large part because of the value and the depths of the nutrients, but maybe you could just really briefly address what you found about that, Jim. How much easier is it to use burn mode to accomplish autophagy here versus your previous experience?
Well, if you're looking at what the ingredient lists here, there's all 4 minerals in here, okay? All 4. The help that minerals give to any product makes it go this much higher, even if it's just one set of minerals. This has 4 stacked on top of each other. So they're all covering every single angle. And synergistically, what they're able to do is help all those nutrients be absorbed, because one of them happens to be called the fulvic trace mineral powder. When you've got that fulvic, which is a natural ingredient that's in all plants, it's what carries fulvic acid, carries nutrients into the plants, and then it carries garbage out, including things, lots of things that get built up in the cell of the plant and in the human being to help it really cleanse itself of things you do not want in there, such as medications, even things that don't belong there, that don't make us feel good or live as long. So when you start looking at the way they put this together, oh my goodness, I'll just tell you, this one product is so phenomenal. And when you're saying absorption rates, the difference it makes is you're really good if you can get a nutrient dense, say, meal replacement, and you're absorbing anywhere from 50 to 60%. What if that went up to 95% plus? Just the ability to carry it in. And
well, and if we switch gears for just a minute, Jim, so thank you so much. I mean, burn mode is just such an extraordinary product, and I know it's one of your very favorites. And the next step that we're going to want to talk about is the Ultra 30 shake. And there are a lot of shake products on the market now. I mean, it's like everybody's just decided to get into the shake making deal, right? And so one of the things I'd love to hear you kind of address as you're talking about the extraordinary reality of this shake is what makes it so incredibly unique, and how can we stand on top of it and kind of shout from the rooftops, this is the best that the market has available, and the reasons for why we can say that with such authority and understanding.
Again, the science that went into this is exceptional, and the breakthroughs in the science that make the ingredients that are in there are exceptional and haven't been used in the past. They just weren't here, and now they are. This innovation is making such a difference. This has the 3 mineral complexes, which is the main ones, the big ones that help all vitamins get in. It's called full spectrum because it has the 4 big ingredient lists in it, which is the full array of amino acids, which are your proteins, including the essential ones that the body can't produce, the full array of fatty acids, which are the healthy fats, and essential fatty acids the body cannot produce on its own, so they have to come from a food. They're in there. Then it's got the other 2 elements in it that make it even neater because it has a full delivery system, but it has the minerals and the vitamins. Now, vitamins, as you mentioned, can't be absorbed by the body without their core factor of minerals. For instance, vitamin C requires calcium and magnesium, or it doesn't go in. It just goes right on out the urine. And exactly the opposite, minerals can't be absorbed without their particular vitamin. Okay, and they're all there in the combination. Now you got a delivery system. Let's just add that. What is the delivery system? It doesn't matter how good something is for you. If it doesn't break down properly and be carried into the individual cells, again, it goes in and out unused. The delivery system of live enzymes, and everybody knows enzymes are important, but what they may not know is if you put them in the food, many of them, in fact, if you take it as a supplement, most of them get destroyed in the stomach acid and never get past the stomach acid into the small intestine where they're needed. Well, guess what? Our enzymes get through. Like they're time released in the small intestine where they're needed. So now they continue to break down the proteins and the fats, and then they grab a hold of them and they take them out to the individual billions and billions of cells. You have a delivery system, you have all the building blocks. Now you have a delivery system to take them into the body and now distribute them to where they're needed. You look at the probiotics. Everybody probably realizes that healthy gut, healthy body. Unhealthy gut, probably the rest of the body is hurting. So we even have the probiotics. Now, again, same darn problem. You put probiotics through the digestive acid, okay? The hydrochloric acid in the stomach is made to break things apart, and it will break the poor probiotics to pieces so much that they're no longer useful. It kills them. But we have a time release, and they're not released until they're in the small intestine where they're needed. Boom. Same thing. All of this new innovation has been used in these formulations. They start with a protein that has a protein file, or we call it an amino acid profile, that is the finest of all foods. Nothing comes close to whey protein. That is just the bottom line. All the eggs, anything you want to put up against it, the whey protein is the highest. However, most of the whey protein produced in the United States, at least, is not very clean because it comes from milk. Milk is just liquid cow, whatever the cow ate or was injected in with, like growth hormones or like antibiotics, or if they ate hay that had pesticides and herbicides in it. That is the cow, that is the milk, and that goes into us. We get ours from New Zealand. They're grass-fed almost their entire life. They are never injected with growth hormones, and they're never injected with antibiotics. They either are healthy cows or they're dead cows. They're not trying to revive them and keep them milking longer just to survive. So all of those things come together in a way that there is nothing like this Ultra 30, and 30 just stands for the 30 grams of protein. But you'll see it's got the healthy fat, it's got the fiber in there. So this is very keto friendly for people who don't know that. So if you're going to start one of these burn days, and I see we're coming down on time, and I have one more thing I want to talk about. Start it coming off of an Ultra 30 shake as your meal prior to starting your burn. Now, I do my burns at night, and I'll start by taking it 2 to 4 hours after my last meal, which will be an Ultra 30. Then I take the burn for the night. Now I got 8 hours behind me when I wake up, and I didn't even notice. Okay. The next morning, I'll take another burn with, usually I'll throw in an e-vibe. If you can't handle any stimulant, it'll be a drench. And down it goes. And 4 hours after that, another burn. 4 hours after that, another burn. And every time I measure how am I feeling, I got plenty of energy. I still have mental clarity. I can do my work. And okay, 24 hours later, I'm back to when I took my Ultra 30, I decide I can go again. So that night I take another burn. Next morning, a burn with usually an e-vibe. That gets me through my whole morning. And now I'm into the evening again, and I'm into 48 hours. All of those things are possible for me. In fact, now I can go up to 72 hours. And those last hours, it just keeps increasing the autophagy. And that's rebuilding glands, organs, brains, muscles, and everything else. And here's my question to anybody. Okay, this meal. So it's about $4, okay, for an adult, about $2 for a child, about $1 for a smaller 4-year-old. All right. All of those things to know that it's quite affordable. It tastes delicious in chocolate or vanilla. And if you want to even add a few calories to it, add some fresh fruit. It's delicious. And I am the mixologist at my house when the grandkids come over, and I let them mix it, and they say, give me more, especially if they're involved. But all of those things are building the healthiest immune system, because all of the building blocks are in this meal. All of the building blocks make it full spectrum. And 2 of these meals a day is going to help somebody with weight loss, because there's only like 240 calories per meal. And you add that up and add a 600 calorie meal to go with it, your normal plated meal, you're up 1,000, maybe 1,100 calories. Guess what's going to start happening? You're going to burn some of the ketones, the stored fat, and you'll see that scale. And hopefully everybody's got one, because they're going to see all the insights changing out. And like Amy mentioned, the energy, the ability to handle stress, all of those things show up when you're giving your body the healthy food. But I wanted to end with
I'm sorry,
something.
Jim. You are so amazing. I really appreciate you. And we've got like 5 minutes left. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If there's another thought, please complete. But I'd love to have just a couple minutes available for people that might have a burning question for Jim. You know, if you could help me out with that, Robert, because I can't quite see everybody with my screen share. If somebody wants to raise their hand or just unmute and ask Jim any burning question that you might have, please feel free.
Beth, if you will drop the slide for a minute, I'll bet you will see everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Cool. No need to continue doing that. All right.
Yeah, I love that. I like to see everybody's face too.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, everybody. All right. So
Hello.
anybody have a burning question that they would like to pose to Jim?
We left them speechless. May I suggest to our brand partners 2 things, if I can leave you with this thought. if you want to reach your goal. And many of us want to, but it's hard to get out the front door or pick up the phone and call the first person or send a text, voicemail, or whatever we're going to do. I know a guy who was able to accomplish 17 reach outs in 48 hours. Out of those 17 reach outs, he's already had 2 people say, I'm interested. Tell me more. This looks intriguing. I'm wanting to get involved. One, wanting to get involved to make money. The other one, wanting to be involved with, the big package. What made it possible for this guy who had never done 17 reach outs in a week, actually in 2 weeks, probably not in 3 weeks. How did he do it in 48 hours? That's what's interesting. What he did is he teamed up with a accountability partner.
That wouldn't let him get away with anything, by
And
the
this
way.
accountability partner mentioned that
Hi, Jill.
she had boots with pointy tips.
Right. Woof. You don't
And
want to be
he'd
Mike.
agreed that if he didn't do 2 things. One, show up by time blocking every day to do his time block, he would, the next time he saw her, walk up, reach over and grab his ankles. So he could get kicked in the behind. Okay, that scared him to death to do 17 reach outs in 48 hours. I am telling you, if you can get an accountability partner and you're on the same track of block times, the possibility of improving goes up about 1,000% for the guy who did 17 reach outs, got some great results, and now is better at reach outs than he's ever been because he has something called boards. And if you haven't found boards, because I married a tech, she always had to send everything that I asked her. After I talked to somebody, please send them this, and please send them this, and please send them this. I think that's what we talked about. I can't remember for sure because it was 2 days ago and I wrote it down. I can't find my note. Now I can go on my own phone, find boards, find that collagen I just talked to him about, find that burn that I just talked to him about, that Ultra 30, click on it and be able to send it right to him, just like I promised it would. And for the first time, I'm a tech. Not really, but I'm learning. And my wife, I think, is even surprised that I am sending her little techie messages. She goes, oh, good practice. I mean, that's what I get back from her in the middle of my
Great.
time.
Well,
So that's just some hints. I will tell you this. You can go slow, you can go medium, or you can go fast. There are people on this line that made it fast, especially if you have some background, in my opinion, on social media, because a lot of people out there can be contacted quickly.
Jim, you're doing such a great job. I'm very proud of you as your accountability partner.
Oh, I wasn't going to squeal on you. I didn't want to throw you on
she
pointy
showed up
boots.
for squealing.
I love it.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for the endorsement of boards, and thank you for everybody that participated in helping make that happen. And I'm hopeful that everybody is enjoying this new format of this Monday night call. We are going to continue to expand it and make sure that it's global each and every Monday. And please don't miss our other calls that we have going on Wednesdays, and make sure and stay in touch with all of our different ways of being in touch, including the Facebook communities. And I don't know, Robert, would you mind just putting in the chat really quickly to make sure that everybody is involved in the Facebook communities that we all participate in, because we want to make sure that everybody's getting access to the same information. And Slavo's been awesome about sending out emails to help inform people about all of the extraordinary things that we have going on right now, including going on that cruise. I cannot wait for Mexico. Just saying. Gotta be
It's
there,
so
for all of
doable.
you, right? Absolutely. Get on that cruise. All right, everybody. Well, again, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you, Jim, for all of your amazing contributions. Thank you, Robert, for helping us get it done and get it recorded. You're awesome. And again, just so appreciate being a part of this amazing community. And thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Beth.
Go out and be
You're
a force for
Night.
good.
Bye.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Beth.